What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to be very real with you guys. If you're looking to be in amazing shape by the summer, this is probably the best video that you're ever going to watch, because I'm going to explain to you now the biggest mistake that most people make and why it's so important to actually be in the shape that you want way before the summer. Now here's why. Now when we diet and when we lose weight, when we lose fat, okay, this puts us to a place where we have to be in a calorie deficit, and the longer that we spend in a calorie deficit, the harder it actually gets, which makes sense, right? We're effectively starving our body, and our body doesn't know the difference between us just wanting to look amazing on holiday and have an amazing physique and have a six-pack, or us actually dying, because the reality is if we're losing weight, our body thinks that that's the case. So the more that we spend in a calorie deficit, the more that we kind of fight against our body, which is theoretically what we're doing, the harder that it gets. And the biggest mistake most people make is they kind of start their cut or they start their dieting phase, 12 weeks or 16 weeks out from their holiday or the summer. And then when they reach, and if they reach the kind of peak of where they want to be, which is possible in that time frame for a lot of guys specifically, 12 to 16 weeks, you can actually get shredded and get a six pack in that time frame. When you reach your holiday or you reach the summer, you are putting yourself in a really dangerous position where you're probably just going to gain all the weight back. And here's why. When we've lost loads of weight and we get to that stage with our body wants to gain the weight back. If we think about this, and we've been starving our body for that time frame, even if we're doing it in the correct way, of course, we're not literally starving our body in a way that it's, dangerous, but even getting to that point where we just dropped 10 or 15 or 20 kilos, wherever it is in that time frame, right before a holiday, our body wants to gain the weight back. This is just the way that our body is made. This is just the internal mechanism that happens because we've dropped loads of weight, okay? Our body is now in a position where it feels threatened, feels like it's a dangerous weight that it's not been before. So that stage after, which I'll get onto in a second, is super important. But the reality is this, is that if you've just spent all this time getting in shape and then you get to the summer and then you have the body that you want, you are potentially, by having a few days off plan or having a few beers when you go on holiday or overeating on your calories at the weekend because it's the summer, you're going to gain all the weight back because your body wants to gain the weight back. And trust me, I speak from experience because I've done this. I dropped a lot of weight to get into the best shape I've ever been in for a competition, 12, 16 months of dieting, and I had no idea what I wanted to do afterwards. Really, there was no real protocol. I stopped working with a coach at the time, so I didn't know what reverse dieting was. I didn't know how to get back up to a place of safety, and I gained all the weight back, and I looked worse literally within like a week or two after my competition than actually how I looked on my competition day. How I looked at the start of my prep, I looked better than I did 2 weeks after my competition, which isn't the ideal situation to be in, considering that was just before the summer as well. And that's because I just let myself go and felt like I've been, prepping for a long time. I've been dieting for a long time. So I felt like it was okay to just have a couple of weeks off. And honestly, the response from my body from having a few off-plan days and eating a lot of food and binging was crazy. I gained a stone in literally the space of 2 weeks. I looked watery, I looked really fluffy, I was puffy, my skin was bad. I hated how I looked. I was in a place where for a while, I wasn't confident with my body. I actually wasn't confident taking my top off. Spot skin was quite bad as well, because that's what happens when we eat loads of crap food, especially when you're dieting. Hormones in general are not going to be in a great place when you've been in a dieting phase to the level that I was at in terms of getting lean for a competition. So I gained a lot of weight, and I realized that stage afterwards that you've got lean is even more important than the entire diet itself. So, if you're looking to be in shape for your holiday and you spend all this time in a diet phase and then you get to your holiday and you've been dieting for such a long time and you go and put thousands of calories in your body because you're away, you're going to gain the weight back. You're going to gain it back worse than what you did before, and you will be back to square one again because your body wants to gain the weight, and as soon as it starts to see some calories come in again, it grabs onto them and you start gaining fat at a much faster rate than what you would have done previously. And this is why the reverse diet is so important. So that's not how you want to do things, and you're hopefully watching this at a good time where it's the new year and you've got tons of time to get in shape way before the summer. So you don't need to worry about being in this position. Here's exactly what you want to do in a step. Now, you want to get yourself in shape way before the summer. You want to be in shape by March, April, before it starts to get nice in the UK. Then it gives you time to work through this really vital phase afterwards, which is called a reverse diet, and a maintenance, and in building some muscle too. Because when you give yourself that sort of 6 week, 8 week, even 4 weeks is enough time, 2 weeks you can get to a better place. Even in that time frame, you make it easier to stay in shape because you can work through a reverse diet. You can start putting calories back in at a slowly controlled rate. You can bring your cardio down. You can bring down your activity day to day, and you can actually convince your body that it is a safe place. And this is known as changing your body's set point to a place as to where it actually feels that it's okay at the weight that it's got to. You drop 10 kilos, but it feels okay at 70 kilos rather than 80 kilos. It doesn't want to gain loads of weight back now because it feels like it's in that safe place. We've got back to homeostasis, which is our body's ability of just kind of being at one, where everything's nice and stable. And this is a slow, incremental process that takes time, and you have to give yourself, as I say, 4 weeks, 6 weeks to be able to go through this process. When you nail the reverse diet and you get your calories back up to maintenance and you get to a really good place, you can enjoy yourself much easier. You don't have to worry about doing tons of cardio anymore. You can actually eat more food because your body's ability and your metabolism's in a much better place. So you actually can enjoy this summer a lot easier than obviously if you were to just lose loads of weight and then go into the summer afterwards. And if you give yourself time to then look at building some muscle, which after you've just lost a lot of weight, your body is really responsive and it actually wants to build muscle. You can build tissue at a much faster rate after dieting for a long time because again, like your body's happy to have calories back again. And if you use the calories in the correct way, you can build muscle quite fast. And the more muscle that you've got, guess what? The easier it is again to stay in shape because your metabolism is going to be firing so much faster, so much quicker that you can withstand more calories. You know, you are in a position where your body is able to enjoy more food. Like your metabolism is firing faster. Like for me now, my maintenance calories are anywhere between like 3,500, sometimes higher if I'm doing, you know, high amounts of cardio like I am at the moment where I'm training for high reps. So it is pretty effortless for me to sustain a six-pack. Like I don't live a boring, compromised lifestyle in any way, in my opinion. I drink, I order takeaways if I want to. I normally try and keep them quite clean, but I can have them. I don't have any issue with that. I eat out at least once a week. I enjoy my life because I've put in enough work. I've gone through reverse diets. I've gone through gaining phases. I've built muscle. So that when I get to the summer now, I don't even need to put any effort in to stay shredded all summer. I always will have a six-pack. Even if I go and have a bit of appendix sometimes across the summer, if I've got a holiday or whatever planned, I will still sustain low body fat because it's just easy for me to do that. Whereas the first time around when I did this and I got super lean, completely messed up on these things. And that's exactly why. So this is the advice I'm giving to you guys now. Take this as something that is super important. If you're watching this, you need to drop the needle now and get in shape. Stop procrastinating. Don't wait until you're 12 weeks out or 16 weeks out from the holiday or your wedding or whatever it is that you want to be in shape for. Start now. The quicker and the sooner that you get the dieting phase out of the way and you get yourself in world-class shape, the better. Because you can enjoy the benefits of having an amazing body, you can work through the reverse diet, and you can sustain low body fat, good shape, good body composition all year round without putting in loads of effort, without doing loads of cardio, without eating boring food, without tracking your macros, without following meal plans. You can do all those things pretty seamlessly when you get yourself to a good place. That's my biggest advice. If you want some help in terms of knowing how to do this, if what I've spoken about today isn't something that sounds like it makes that much sense, this is what we do at FitLab day in, day out with our clients. We help our clients get in world-class shape. We teach them what they need to know to go through this journey, and we help them enjoy their life and actually sustain and enjoy the benefits of having a six-pack or having an amazing bikini body from knowing how to do this correctly and the right knowledge and the right nutrition. We have a 4-phase journey at FitLab where we literally go through this exact process. Get lean, go through reverse diet, build muscle, stay in shape, enjoy your life. This is exactly what we do. So if you want some help with this, guys, I'm gonna leave a link below where you can book in your free call with myself. We can talk about where you are now, where you wanna get to, what needs to change, and exactly the plan that we're gonna lay out for you to get there. If you don't like the sound of what the program sounds like, no problem at all. You can still walk away with tons of value. You know, this is not a call for you to join. This is a call to find out whether I genuinely feel like it can help. So leave a link below for you to be able to put that in. Apart from that, guys, I hope you take a massive value out of this video. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe for future videos, hit the bell notification, and as always, I'll catch you in the next video.